Today, we're diving into something big, a potential geopolitical earthquake, really. A future where the power map of the Middle East could be totally redrawn. And right at the center of it all, one nation, Turkey. Its strategic moves could literally reshape the entire region.
So, I want you to imagine something. Picture a chessboard, but one of the most important pieces is suddenly just gone. It's not captured, it just vanishes. What happens? Well, the entire balance of the game changes in an instant. All the old strategies? Completely obsolete. And that's what we call a power vacuum. Nature hates it, and so does geopolitics. When a dominant force just disappears, other players rush in to fill that void. And according to a lot of analysts, one nation has been meticulously, almost quietly, positioning itself for exactly this kind of moment. Which brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today. It's a hypothetical future that strategists are gaming out. They call it the broken Iran scenario, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a future where Iran is no longer a major, coherent force in the region.
Now, this obviously raises a massive question, one that's being kicked around in foreign policy circles right now. If this scenario were to happen, could Turkey actually emerge as the biggest winner? Could it end up dominating a brand new Middle East?
To even begin to understand why that's a real possibility, we have to look at Turkey's incredible position on this global chessboard. It's truly unlike any other country in that part of the world.
The key here, the absolutely crucial point, is what analysts call Turkey's dual role. On one hand, it's a core committed member of NATO, the West's most powerful military alliance. But at the same time, it operates as a fiercely independent power with its own clear, distinct ambitions for the region. Think about it. As a NATO ally, Turkey gets all the benefits. A Western security umbrella, access to really advanced military tech. But then it turns around and uses its Ottoman legacy and its deep cultural connections to play its own game, often completely independent of what Washington wants. This foot in two worlds identity, it gives Ankara extraordinary flexibility and leverage.
And Ankara has used every bit of that flexibility to build something truly remarkable, a complex, resilient web of alliances. And look, this isn't just some standard diplomacy. No, this is the very foundation of its long-term grand strategy.
And this network is really extensive. You've got Azerbaijan, where the bond is so deep they call it one nation, two states. You have Qatar providing critical financial and political support. The partnership with Pakistan is blossoming into a serious defense pact, and then Ankara is systematically expanding its influence with the Turkic states in Central Asia, and it's even secured a vital strategic foothold in North Africa through its alliance in Libya.
You see, every single one of these alliances is like a node in a much larger network. When you put them all together, they give Ankara the power to project its influence, politically, economically, and militarily, from the Eastern Mediterranean clear across to Central Asia. It's a 21st century sphere of influence.
So, what's the end game here? What's the whole point of this incredibly complex strategy? Well, the stakes are unbelievably high. But, and this is key, so are the risks. This is a high-wire act with no safety net.
The prize, if they pull it off, is nothing short of regional hegemony. We're talking about becoming the undisputed power broker of the Middle East and a key player across Eurasia. And with that comes direct control over some of the most vital energy and trade corridors on the planet.
And just to wrap your head around the sheer scale of this prize, think about this. Success could mean controlling or having influence over as much as 40% of key Eurasian energy routes. The economic and strategic power that comes with that is, well, it's almost immeasurable.
But, and it's a huge but, there's a massive flip side. As one analyst puts it, this whole strategy walks a really fine line between achieving that regional leadership and suffering from what's called imperial overstretch. That's the classic risk of a nation expanding so far so fast that its military and its economy just can't keep up. The danger of getting bogged down is very, very real.
Which brings us to what feels like the final move on the board. When you combine Turkey's one-of-a-kind position with this incredibly ambitious strategy, what you get is the ultimate geopolitical gamble.
At the end of the day, it's this combination, the dual NATO role plus that deep alliance network, that creates this unique opportunity. Turkey has positioned itself perfectly to exploit the exact kind of power vacuum that a broken Iran scenario would create.
And so that leaves us with the final, defining question. Is this incredible, intricate web of alliances truly a launchpad for a new era of Turkish dominance? Or is it a strategic trap, A net that's going to entangle Ankara in endless regional conflicts that it just can't win? The answer to that question will probably define the Middle East for the next generation.